I'll ask you. I don't care.
All right, welcome to Minimally Cake Talk.
How did you do? It's delicious, brother. Okay. Okay. These Propel water packs might be my favorite water pack. They're great. I love water. I love slightly flavored water. This isn't an ad or a promo, but if you haven't had your one, go get your one.
And look, that's a fact, though.
Those Propels
That's a fact.
are delicious.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I'm currently sipping on that raspberry lemonade. I don't know. I just go grab a bottle. This one's perfect. This one big. Give it one. It's great.
Water flavorings are magnificent.
Yeah, man. It was funny. I was like, that one looks a little cloudy, looks a little white, but now it's clearing up.
Yeah, it's getting there.
It'll get
It's dissolving. It's dissolving.
delicious. A bit sweeter than
Oh, goodness, bro.
Anyways.
I am Jeremy.
Mr. Chocolate Thunder. When you say with the hot breath. I am Mr. Chocolate. Or Daniel Gray. That was crazy. Daniel Gray.
No, he's double chocolate.
Yeah.
So nice you say it twice.
Oh my gosh, I like
Chocolate.
It's
Okay.
so nice you say it twice. I like that.
Yeah, you remember that commercial?
No, I don't.
That's golly, Nick Cannon. I can't remember
And
what
that sounds like something Nicholas was saying.
There's definitely something Nicholas.
You about got me. You about got me.
There's definitely something Nicholas will say, bro.
So nice.
Golly, oh my goodness, and we just referenced him, and you know what the topic of the day is?
What's that?
The topic of the day is it bad fathers or great mothers?
Is it bad fathers or great mothers who do what?
That's the question. Is it bad fathers
This is a trap episode.
or great
This is a trap.
or great mothers?
I don't think anyone likes me at the end of it.
This
I don't think anyone wins, guys. You're all bad. But let's get it. Okay. No one's gonna like me. I'll be devoid of friends. It's about to be me and you, Jeremy. Okay. Got some money.
Oh my gosh!
But yes, all right, let's go.
All right, let me get the questions together.
Oh man. Bop, 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 bop. Hey, bro, you see that dude I sent you? He's a British UK Christian rapper.
Yeah,
That's bonkers. That's dope. I recently, which of course the algorithm said, oh, that boy been listening to UK music. Well, listen to some UK stuff. Just to hear cool UK slang, okay?
right.
And then he's been popping up. And then spit. Boy can spit.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, RDC3 or something, whatever it is.
Yeah, I gotta find them. One of my other like favorite rappers, and he's from the UK. I think he's living in the United States, but he's from the UK.
Yeah.
His name is S.O. SO's pretty dope. SO's pretty dope. So
These guys are brilliant, bro. Brilliant, bro. In it? That won't be crazy. In it?
oh god, that's a whole different language, bro. Different dialect. We both speak English, bro.
But it's different.
But it's different. Totally different. All right.
They call sausage bangers. That's one of the wildest things. Bangers.
I will not call sausage bangers.
I will
not call
bangers.
No.
Bangers and mash? A crazy combination. Go ahead, bangers and mash. All right, we got stuff to do.
No. Nobody. That will not be coming out of my mouth.
That is crazy. Whoa, Paul's did he? Oh my God! Oh, it's done. We're done. There's work to be done here. You boys are playing in front of this camera.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Woo! All right, here we go. Here we go. Question number 1. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is a diabolical question right here, bro.
I told you nobody gonna like it.
All right, here we go. Do we overpraise mothers for stepping up?
Yes.
Or are they simply filling a void left by an absent or uninvolved father?
Combination of the two. First off, getting praised for doing what you're supposed to do is so dumb, right? So, single mother is a thing. Like, that's a thing that people hang their hat on, that, like, they uplift themselves.
Not people. Not people.
So
they're women. We're not going to start this birthing people crap, okay? We're not going to start that. No. They're women, okay?
Yes.
They're women.
These women, it's crazy because it's just like, they get praised for it. But it's weird because also me as a dad, I had this old lady in the South Main Walmart. All right, back when I used to have baby cakes, I'm always going to that Walmart. It seemed like this lady only saw me when I had a child with me. And she was just like, honey, you are working hard. I see you in your work clothes every time. Where is your woman? I'm like, ain't no woman. She was like, oh, I got a grandbaby for you. That's crazy. She's just gonna leave you out here taking care of the baby by yourself. What kind of these women nowadays is she is disgraced at women and is ready to give me to wed me off to whoever her offspring
now
is.
betrothed.
Exactly. Trying to betroth me to whatever. So it's weird. I say that to say I also get praised for being a father. And that's weird. Like doing regular father things. Like you don't babysit your kid. So I would never say I'm babysitting my child. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's like I just have my child right now. So I am to be equally as involved. Now, because we have this thing in our brain that mother is somehow some kind of super parent, or better parent than the father, and the woman deserves the kid. When statistics, here you go. Sorry, ladies. Sorry. We'll get to the men. Just if you hold off on me, I'll equally offend them. But you gotta take this last one right here.
You have to.
Yes.
You have to.
And single mothers are making the worst products statistically.
Yep.
Our jails aren't full of two parent home people. You start looking at life without a father, it's in jail, to 70% it's going to be a bad deal.
Yep.
Right? Jails filled up with 70% of single men. So single moms by themselves create, by and large, comparatively speaking, the worst product of our society.
Yeah.
So praising single mothers is no good.
No good.
So now they are filling the void of an absent father. And to me, that is the worst kind of human who doesn't take care of their offspring.
Infidel.
Drop that. That was they need to know that verse. Where that verse at? Pull that one up. Because
absolutely pull that one up.
Was one of the most amazing things of the Bible. Me and Jeremy always talk about this. Is that how the Bible has already spoken on everything.
He's spoken on
It's
everything.
crazy because he brought this into my attention, and for me, any man who does not take care of his child is not a friend of mine. We can't rock together if you don't care. If you don't care for your offspring, because I believe you don't. I can't trust a man who doesn't take care of his kid. If a man who doesn't take care of his kid and it is like his fault, because I've seen women try to keep their children away from their father.
Yeah.
I was the one who also got to play. I got to be the person who they tried to keep the child from for whatever bogus reasons. I believe very much you should go to court and figure it out. Absolutely. I don't care what the cost is. Spend whatever the money is to make sure you can see your child. I am the guy who did that. I probably spent a lot of people's salaries in making sure that I am not a weekend father or a present father. But anyway, go ahead and read the Bible verse for you men that kind of was cheering on what I said before, because the Bible doesn't view you very highly.
No, absolutely not. I'm looking at the Amplified version of it. It says in 1 Timothy 5:8.
1 Timothy 5:8.
It says, if anyone fails to provide for his own, and especially for those of his own family, he has denied the faith by disregarding its precepts and is worse than an unbeliever who fulfills his obligation in these matters. The King James Version.
This is my favorite one. Okay. Y'all thought this word belonged to the people of the Islamic faith?
No.
We got them too. Let's go.
But if anyone provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel.
Yeah. Turns out we got infidels.
We got infidels too.
And if you're not taking care of your baby, you're an infidel.
You're absolutely an infidel.
That means God's got an express train to hell for you. Okay, first class business suites.
Yeah, I mean,
you're worse than a non. Like, he's like, give me the dude who don't even believe in me before you give me that. Before you give me this unaccountable. Yes, give me the guy irresponsible, disgusting, bro. Yes. So there's that for you,
right?
But I sit in the line of making sure in our justice system and our legal system, we need it to be fair. Mm-hmm. One of the things one of the mistakes I made, I say this isn't a real mistake, but if I was redoing my divorce stuff over, I would have went and grabbed my daughter, and instead of being the level-headed me, I was being where I would return my daughter at the end of the night or whatever to try to keep some level of peace. I should have just taken off of work for 2 weeks and just kept my daughter, and then been like, you're gonna have to come beat me up to take her away from me, or we're gonna come up with an agreement. I should have done that. If I would have done that, I could have saved myself tens of thousands of dollars in time in court. But I was trying to be cool about it. So I'm very much like, hey man, don't try to be cool about it. Do whatever it takes for you for the world to know that you are an equal parent. Right. Me, I spent $40-some thousand to prove it. I went in court and argued the fact that, I guess I didn't argue it, but my ex-wife's, she said I worked too much to have the kid. Fantastic with the kid safe, whatever. I worked too much to see my child was her thing. Even though I don't even want to get into the weeds of my divorce, but everything, I sat in court for 2 days. I said it's the most expensive compliment I ever got. $1,500 retainer from my lawyer. At the end of the 2 days, she sent me a bill for $7,500, right? All we talked about is how great of a dad I was for 2 days. Legitimately, how great of a dad I was. When I say not one negative thing to keep me from having my child 50-50, that was the argument. He works too much. I need to have the kid so he can continue to work and pay me to have the kid. Stupid. But yes, you must fight to that degree. I don't care if it takes you 3 years. Like, there's no excuse that I will accept from a man for not fighting for his kid. Maybe, I guess, you can fight, but if you run out of money, you run out of money. I've seen people who just don't have the money to fight. Mm-hmm. If you're facing someone who has money. Sucks, but I mean, I'm not going to be mad at you because not everyone has a retirement account from their job that they put in for 10 years that they can decide to use it all to make sure they see their kid. I understand I was fortunate and in a blessed situation.
I would say it's a conundrum on that. Because we talked a little bit about this before. Should you sell the cow to get the pearl? And the Bible clearly said, that.
Yes.
You know, in red letters. Jesus was saying this.
Red letter.
Okay? He said, the man sold everything he had to buy this field that he found a pearl in. Your child is that pearl.
100%.
Your child is that pearl.
Yes.
Furthermore, the child is not that pearl because the child is priceless.
Yes.
That pearl can have a price on it, but
risk everything.
Yeah.
And that was my whole strategy. I pushed everything to the center of the table. I remember talking to my accountant who told me in cases like this, the lawyers are going to be the only winners. Yeah. My whole stance was I will eat beans directly out of a can in a single wide trailer for the rest of my life if it meant I can do it with my daughter.
Yep.
That there's no compromise on that.
Yep.
My accountant says, I hope you believe that. He saw my finances, saw everything happening in businesses. He says, we're about to find out if you really believe that. And then he went and came. He was going to be a witness in one of my hearings about the whole situation. I'm like, look, she's saying that there's money. She's saying that this stuff doesn't exist. But he never had to go up on the stand, but he was prepared to go on the stand for me. But it has to be that, you have to go that hard.
Absolutely.
Especially as in today's society where as a society, we're trying to figure out what is a healthy level of masculinity. There needs to be that in the child, and the child needs both parents. So let's start there. Child needs both parents. So you need to fight. I don't care that I don't think it's right that you have to fight to be their men, but I don't think that you shouldn't either. I thought my situation was stupid, but I also understood there was an obligation to the betterment of my child. Mm-hmm. And for my child to have the best opportunity at life, what the numbers say is that I must be there as much as humanly possible. Mm-hmm. The more I'm there, even in the absence of the mother, I hate to be this way, but like single father homes with no mothers perform close to two-parent households. So statistically speaking, if you're picking one, pick the single dad. You're going to get a better outcome at a single dad than a single mom.
Well, here I think the problem lies in this, in the fact that society has portrayed males as a threat to everyone. They have portrayed males as a threat to everyone, and I saw this clip, and it almost blew my head off of my shoulders, bro. This woman accused her husband of raping their daughters. Yeah. Okay. It was on. I saw it was like a clip of Ayana.
Shout out to Buddy for not jumping short.
Bro.
Shout out for
Bro.
They say never.
One of the strongest men on this planet. Bro. One of the strongest men on this planet.
I don't know how. I know me. I'm showing up to your house. I don't know. I don't have any better option in my brain
Right.
than to sit. Especially me as a guy who sat through 3 years of divorce hearings and child custody battles. And the unfortunate reality is, as the man, whatever the woman says, the world's gonna believe.
And that's the craziest part. Like that, like we have seen example after example after example of just women making bad choices. Like you said, they're gonna hate us by the end of this, but we've seen multiple examples of women making bad choices, but we continue to believe everything said women say.
Yes.
Without investigation,
Yes.
without questioning.
Yes.
It's just she's right, he's wrong,
Yeah.
and there's no, like, we're not even going to look into it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, and how damaging it could be.
Right. That's what I was thinking about. Like, my guy probably went through all sorts of hell. He probably lost his job.
That's what I'm saying.
Probably, you know what I'm saying? Like, he went through hell.
Mentally, as a father who wants to be present and is forced not to. Like, again, I've told you, one of the hardest days of my life was picking up my daughter from daycare the first day and her screaming and crying that she didn't want to go with me, to where the daycare teacher had to walk my daughter out to my car with me as if I've never picked up my daughter or done anything with my daughter. I sat in our car and boo-hooed while sitting in the parking lot of Wesleyan. And while my daughter raging and crying, eventually, after 10 minutes, she calmed down and everything was good. But I know that was that difficult while going to court, being known as a good father. I can imagine going through that whole same situation, but then known as whatever level of rapist. And then you don't get to see the kid because you're dangerous to the kid. And then that hurts you more in custody court. So now you're going to have to be doing this whole thing of how you're going to pick her up, or how you're going to pick up custody. And when she says this, I'm willing to bet that there were no repercussions of such an allegation.
There was none. There was none.
That's what's scary, where it's like, for the men, that she can say that, and then there's no repercussions. And so there has to be, I get it, we protect women, and as we should, but we also should demonize, like, bad women. Women who do things like that should be demonized.
Absolutely.
To the umpteenth degree, right?
We talk about throwing people away.
Just toss them.
That's somebody. You're out of here.
Yes, you gotta
We're
go.
tossing you away.
Yes, you
We're
gotta go
tossing
in
you
the
away
big-
because you're not only hurtful to him. You're hurtful to. You could be hurtful to somebody else in society.
Yes.
Who knows how many other lies that you made up?
at that magnitude.
That's all. If you can make that type of
Allegation.
story and allegation against somebody, bro, no,
Yep.
no.
And especially like,
Go ahead. I
and like I imagine, like, especially like, maybe this is just me, right? So I remember having a daughter and being like, oh my gosh, I've got to clean this baby's hoo-ha. I've never seen a little female hoo-ha like this before. you gotta clean it, you gotta take care of her area and stuff like that. I remember feeling that level of uncomfortability at first and be like, okay. I remember there was this lady that used to work at the farmer's market. Her name was Crazy Amy.
Right.
And she was like, look, Daniel, you got to get over that. This is your baby. This is the only baby you get to look at. Clean it because you're going to give her an infection. I get it. You're a man. It's weird. Don't do that. And I remember seeing my former sister-in-law also not like weirded out by cleaning a baby shalabba ding dong, but I remember her being like, oh my gosh, like, it's like, what you call it? And I remember walking over there like, don't leave my little boy out there like that. Pick up his little thing, clean the run. I'm like, we make sure his unit is straight. He needs this. This is one of his most vital organs. As a man, I was so much more comfortable of going to my nephew and cleaning him up with no like thought of it being crazy or like none of those thoughts. But let me clean him up. That's crazy. But he needs his unit. Whereas with my daughter, I'm like, okay, how do I use the wipe and her hoo-ha? Like, how do I do that? Right. So I can imagine like all of those, and then like, then she goes to say something like that about, that's nuts. I don't know how you don't absolutely lose it. I know me personally, I'm probably going off the rails.
Yeah.
Just because of the way I am.
Yeah.
Shout out to Buddy, strong man. Look, anyone find him, tell me he got a cheesesteak on me. Several, bro. Give me a little, come on, get the cheesesteak.
Well, all his daughters are grown now.
Sheesh. Tell the whole family that's what she said. I'm sorry they all went through that because mom's a jackleg.
Crazy. And she decided to apologize. And he was like, I can't accept that.
Yeah, I'm never talking to you in any reasonable way. It will be the most business conversation. Every word out of your mouth better relate to my daughter or I'm hanging up the phone. Yeah. I don't want to share a laugh with you. I don't want us to ever giggle together. No.
Yeah. So, that's sticky, yo. That is super sticky. We stayed on this topic for a minute, but hey, that's fine. Yeah. Question number 2: How do societal expectations differ for mothers and fathers when it comes to parenting roles and responsibilities?
I think dads are dumb and have no clue.
Yeah, that's a fact.
At my baby shower, there was a competition to change a diaper. I beat the ladies. They go, how did you do that? Like it's just changing a diaper. If I wipe your bottom part and I just put the Velcro straps, that's changing a diaper.
That's it.
They're like, wait, and they have to check behind me. They're like, how? Everyone was amazed that I changed this fictitious diaper faster than these women. I was just like, why are we acting like it's not just like it's wipe, put on the other thing with the Velcro strap, like that's all it is.
That's it.
And so the thought that like, oh, he can care for a baby human. Like I was getting props for things that I'm like, wait, no, I didn't do anything. I just took care of the kid. It's like, and that's what people are like, man, it's this, that, and the third. I was like, I take care of myself. When I'm hungry, chances are the tiny human's hungry. If I think I've got to go to the bathroom, the tiny human probably had to do the same thing.
Speaking of which, I took that note. I'm running with that bad boy. Bishop is in the bathroom like a pro.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Bishop!
That's it.
Come on.
It'd be so crazy. They're like, you're so good with the kids. It's just like, these are the same things I have to do for myself to exist on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And so instead of hold it for the hour or two, I may hold it for myself. I understand, the little human can't. So I just have to go. If I go, I want a little snacky snack. Turns out he wants a mealy meal. Okay. It was super simple. And so society thinks dudes are just completely clueless. But then you see, I'll take 5 or 6 kids when I dated my ex, when she had a good friend who had 4 kids.
Right.
When they were like, I wouldn't want to hang out with them. I'm like, hey kids, let's go to the park. You know, I'll pile 5 kids in the park. And I remember their kids' dad's like, you really gonna take all the kids? And you're gonna go to the park?
Why not?
I'm like, yeah. You coming? He's like, I'm gonna have a beer. I was like, all right, I'll see you when I see you. And we just head up the road.
So I feel like this. I feel like most guys, they do the opposite of Dunning-Kruger, which is the imposter syndrome.
Okay.
So they act a certain way,
Yes.
basically to appease everyone else. So they act in a way. This is gonna make me sound horrible. To make women feel significant. I really do think that most men aren't, like you said, they aren't dumb. They pull off so that.
How much of it is that? How much of it is them pulling off to make her feel more important about this thing? Because I understand it's a thing to women, right?
Yeah.
Women are going to be judged a lot about the rearing of their children.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as they should, I like that. And let me go ahead and say this. Some of the traditional ways that the world judges people, I don't care. Am I worth more than what I can produce as a man? Yes, but as other men, we will judge men on how well they produce for their family.
Mm-hmm.
Tough
cookies.
Tough cookies. Yeah, brother. You got, and women, you're going to be judged by your child rearing and your ability to keep a house. Argue with your mammy. But how much of it is that, or playing into, I don't know, so I don't have to do this to make it her job. Because I do think sometimes dudes can get late. I think any human.
Oh no, I wasn't saying that they weren't.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying that. I was saying how much of it do you think is, because making sure that the woman feels significant is a thing. I've held back on information to let a woman get it right or whatever. Whole time I knew the whole thing. I just allowed I allowed the charade of thinking and all of that to go on. How much of it do you think is like, are dudes doing this for women to feel more significant? Or how much of it is like, I can be hands off? So if I'm just dumb, like, well, let's keep it a buck. I act like I didn't care or didn't know how to work a washing machine so that my ex would wash all the clothes. Do I as Daniel Gray know, okay, that you shouldn't put everything on blazing hot? Yes. I'm not that big of an idiot. I don't have to worry about things shrinking on me, so I just don't care. Okay? So I turned my washing machine on cold today or yesterday. I was very capable of doing it, but I was just like, so I need to burn off all those germs.
So I think that's so my bad. That's
for sure.
That's the balance. That's the balance. So
I'm a big dumb man. I don't know. The washing machine. All right.
That's the balance. Like, I think males are, I mean, obviously, well capable of figuring things out.
For sure.
Without it being a big to do, it's just, I'll figure it out. You know.
Taking care of a child is simple. With some of these dudes, there's not one part of child rearing that I find difficult. The only thing I fear, and I just hope, because I've got girls, that they don't have their first period with me. Outside of the first period,
right,
the rest of it is simple. Oh, you hurt yourself. Either care and be softy and do whatever, or do Daniel Gray and just stepped over him like, don't do that again, and just go about your day.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So like, That's the worst thing. It's like, oh, they got hurt. It's just like, oh man, that wasn't fun, was it? And then me personally, right, wrong, or indifferent, I just go about living my life, and they either cry or they wipe their face and get over it.
Yeah. And most of the time, you know, I know what a lot of people will say, that they will be like, "Oh my God, that's so disheartening, and you don't really care." Yeah, actually, I really do, because the more you coddle your child,
Yeah.
the weaker you are making them for this world.
Yes.
In this world, it's cutthroat.
Yeah.
And they do not care.
No,
And one thing is for certain, you will not always be here for your child. At some point in time,
yeah,
you're going to go.
that's it.
And hopefully you go before your child.
Yes.
Okay? Hopefully you go before your child.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, you're not going to be here for your child at the end of their life.
Yes.
Okay? So you need to prepare them and teach them how to survive.
Mm-hmm.
But I do. I think you know, people, they think that oh no, you know, you gotta make sure the kid's good. The kid can't hurt themselves that bad.
Yeah.
Like they really can't.
I'm not strong enough.
They're not strong enough yet. So, you know, for them to do whatever they're doing, let them do it. Let them get hurt. Outside of sticking a fork in the outlet.
Yeah, that's probably where I'll stop at.
And even then, you get that joint the breaker's gonna kick.
They'll never do it again.
Look, case in point, old job. Little boy had a daggone, he had a daggone paperclip. He was standing next to the wall like this. There was an outlet. He put the paperclip in the outlet. That guy said, he said, ah! Yeah. It kicked the breaker. His hand was hurting. He was sitting there like this. Oh my God, what happened?
He's never stuck it.
Never stuck anything in an outlet again. Guaranteed.
We don't even have to go check up with the boy. We figured it out. Guaranteed. Yeah, we had to call the daggone fire department and everything. Yeah. Fire department was like, oh no, it stopped.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine. He'll be all right.
Yes. So I think there is that becomes a thing with that question is how many of them are just playing big dumb man, and how many of them are, because there were times where I knew things, and maybe the world doesn't like to read, but I tend to do a bit of reading myself.
Yeah.
And so I would know things, and I just, in my world of gender roles, I defer I think child rearing is a woman's thing. So where I have the final say in protection of my family in the home, if it's a child rearing thing, if it's not something that I believe as a man will developmentally harm my child, and it's just a difference of an opinion, and it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, she wins. That's her call.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm big on discipline, right? My children will be disciplined. I attack them if they're not. But outside of discipline, if I don't think it's going to hinder the discipline or development, I don't care. Does she wear blue today? Does she wear purple today? I don't care. You said we're wearing what color dress? That's none of my business. Cool. Just show me what I'm supposed to wear. Okay, this is what I got to wear. Okay.
Great.
Yes.
I think too, in that respect, that's where a man. I'm not arguing with it. I'm not arguing with you about this. There's more pressing issues that need to be solved.
For sure.
My energy needs to go towards those issues.
Absolutely.
And I'm not arguing with you about what to wear. No.
That's dope.
You decide that. Like, that's...
Yes.
Here you go. You can have that. Like, I'm not arguing with you about what should be eaten. I'll tell you what should be eaten. Whatever is cooked.
Yes.
Like that's the end of it. Eat it. You don't. I guess you're hungry.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, mom said we're eating Brussels sprouts. Shoot, I don't like them either. But that's what Shorty put on the plate. She wanted Brussels sprouts, so we all get to eat.
We all get to eat Brussels sprouts.
We all get to eat Brussels
You
sprouts.
get to eat these tiny cabbages.
That's it. And you better be thankful that she gave you them disgusting. You better thank her for it.
Major fact.
She better know she's appreciated for making the thing that only she likes. I don't care.
Right.
It is what
it is. That's it. All right. Let's go to the next question.
Yeah.
Can we truly define a bad father without understanding the context, economically, emotionally, and culturally?
All right. One more time. Can we
truly define a bad father?
Yes.
Without understanding the context, economically, emotionally, or culturally?
Well, there's automatic fails in being a bad father.
Major facts.
Yeah. So you don't have to be rich to protect your child.
Nope.
All right. It hasn't cost me much money to keep Dallas safe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe a gym membership, but I've been fighting and going to the gym forever. And you can get your workout outside. So being a strong man capable of protecting my little girl and instilling discipline in her it's been a free endeavor. The Marine Corps beat me into it or stuck me in the middle of the woods and told me to figure it out to get it, but it's free. So I don't need to know your economical standpoint. I don't need to know anything. So if you can't protect yourself, and that doesn't necessarily mean being able to physically fight and kick and kill, right? I mean, it's just doing the things necessary to keep your child safe, right? Like to be able to tell your child, hey, don't run in the street. There's little vroom-vrooms coming. That is a form of protection. That was a free statement. I can give those out to anybody. Okay? I've got unlimited those. Okay? So that's a thing. Now, when we're talking about a bad father, because you don't make a lot of money doesn't make you a bad father.
No.
Right? Being poor and parenting while you're poor doesn't make you a bad parent.
Look at here. My parents were super poor.
Yeah.
My dad was working 3 to 4 jobs at a time.
Yeah.
He would come home from his full time, have a hot pocket, roll out the door to go to the next job.
Thank you, baby.
You know what I'm saying? And then come back home for a second time about 10 o'clock, get something to eat real quick, and he's rolling back out again to go do floors. How I know, when I turned like 12, 13, 14, I was working with him on those 2 extra jobs.
Yeah.
I was working with him on those 2 extra jobs.
Yes.
So to say that being a quote unquote broke or poor
yes
father or mother or parent is to be a bad parent,
yes,
you're tripping. Like go whoever says that, go stick your head in the toilet and flush it, please. Like right now.
Hold it there for a little bit.
Yeah, hold it there because you're stupid.
Let me say this: you can be a man and your family be homeless and you're still a great father.
Major facts.
Let me reiterate that, because the same way a woman can be struggling and go to a shelter with her kids, and we accept her as falling on hard times and taking care of her kids and doing her best, is the same way I believe as men that you can do that as a man. I don't believe any man wants. I don't think any human wants to be homeless, right? No woman goes like, yes, oh man, I get to go in the shelter today. No man does that.
Right.
So you can fall on hard times and be homeless and still be top tier father of the year. Okay. So let me make sure I put it to that degree. you can be the lowest of lows and still be a fantastic father.
Major facts.
So, I don't need to understand all of those. Those will obviously play a role in it, right? If you're a Wall Street mogul and your kids ask to eat food out of the trash can because you've got a gambling addiction or something, then I can go, okay, that's bad. But
right. I mean, you think about the story of what Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad, yep.
He was homeless
and figured it out.
And he figured it out. And his son was there, right there with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the issue comes in, and this kind of transitions into the next part of that question, is no parent should be laying on their child any responsibilities that they have.
Say it one more time.
No parent should be laying on their child,
yes,
any responsibilities that the parent has.
Okay.
Like we talked a little bit about this before, is husband sons. When the mother puts responsibility on a son to be the man of the house, and so forth, and that pressure, no.
Yeah.
You're, as a parent, your child should probably never know if you're rich or poor or in distress, or
yes,
like you shouldn't know.
Yes,
they should be allowed to be a child for as long as possible.
Yes.
Now, don't get me wrong. Kids will figure it out.
Yes.
Eventually.
But they must figure it out.
But yeah, like it needs to be like them figuring it out.
Yes.
Like, oh, mom's not doing great. Dad's not doing great.
Yes.
But I'm never going to tell you.
For sure. For sure. That definitely says a thing. Yeah, I don't got nothing to add.
That's fair. That was like emotionally. Like your child should never know. Like should never know. I watched this other clip, and it was with David Banner.
Okay.
And he said he remembered it like it was yesterday. He said he walked in the house, he was happy, he was 10 years old.
Yes.
And his dad said, "What the F are you smiling about? Life is terrible. You shouldn't be smiling.
Yeah.
This is tough."
Yeah.
Right? You know. And so he said from that moment he was like angry and bitter, and all the things up until he's about 21, and he started to kind of question things.
Yeah.
A little bit more. And so his father did not protect him. Mm-hmm. In that moment, he didn't protect him because he was feeling bitter.
Yeah. He became trash. That became, I can't say David Banner's father's not a good father, but that became a hit to his armor and his protection of his son.
Yep.
Because he let his emotions run wild.
Yep.
Upon him, which then affected his son. That's no good.
Not good. Let's go on to the next one. Do you want to talk about culturally for a bad father?
Culturally, I think there's societal norms that you need to think about. It's okay to break societal norms every now and then, but societal norms are there to keep the society in line.
Yep.
And the societal norms help because those societal norms are probably what keeps that society going.
Yep.
In America, it's bad. If a guy steals, due process, all of these things, he goes to court. Parts in Africa, they're just chopping off your hand. And then we'll figure out the rest later.
Yeah.
I've seen parts in Liberia where folks stole from villagers. The homeless people wanted the police to come so the mob would stop beating them. That norm of, oh, you stole from us, now the whole market has to jump you.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
That teaches that thief that, like, I can't steal because everyone here's struggling. Everyone figures out what's their part and everyone does their part. You're wrong for doing that, so we gotta jump on you.
Yes.
They knew that those. I remember reading it one time in a paper. Everyone knew those people were homeless, but it was what it was. They clearly didn't want to put in the way the rest of the society did. They beat the brakes off of them. I was in favor of it. It warmed my heart. So, oh my God, it warmed my heart. It's easy to get out of that situation. But whereas societally that's not acceptable here, but it's acceptable there. So
look. If it became acceptable here,
yeah,
by all means. Do you not understand how quickly society would turn around here? If we were beating the daylights out of these kids, like the entire city,
yeah.
Oh, you want that stupid? Everybody from your neighborhood coming to just beat your cheeks clean off.
Yeah.
Oh, you want that stupid? Oh, you want that dumb in school?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We got you.
3 o'clock.
Major facts. We coming to see you.
We're coming to see you.
We coming to see. And it would, like, I really believe that. Like, we talked about this individualistic take on life, where everybody is out for themselves instead of the tribe mentality.
Yes.
And how no one's able to correct anyone else's kids because it's my kids and so on and so forth. Well, let me tell you something. You're raising terrible children.
Yeah.
You're raising children that are unaccountable and irresponsible.
Yep.
And so it would do you some good to have some help.
Yeah.
Because you can't be there all the time.
Yes.
But somebody's eyes can be on you at some point.
It turns out there's 8 billion people on the planet. One more has to know how to raise a kid. I get it. Most people are dumb. I'll beat you at the most people are dumb.
Yes.
But there's got to be at least one other human that might know what they're talking about. So, your society is going to help dictate how you raise the kid. Some things I agree on, some things I don't agree on. Pick your tribe, your village. I'm on to the next.
Yeah. All right, next question. Are single mothers celebrated because of their strength or because we've normalized fatherly absence? We kind of talked about this already a little bit.
Women, break that sentence down again, or say it one more time.
Yeah. Are single mothers celebrated because of their strength?
Yes.
Or because we've normalized fatherly absence?
I think it became a circular logic.
Yep.
I think at first we did it because we thought men, like what was the? I've had a lot of women say this, that like it's because men had another family across town because he was cheating and this, that, and the third, and but we failed.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I'll make the whole world hate me right here. That's okay. He had a whole family across town. Why did he have to have that whole family across town?
Became the question.
Like, you didn't play a part in that?
That becomes a thing.
I mean, clearly he was missing something, so he went and split his energy between 2 homes. Okay?
Yeah.
He split his energy between 2 homes because he was missing something in the original. I have to say it. Like, at what point do you say, like, yo, why did he do that when we had a whole house right here?
Yes. And of course, that's not every man, right?
Right.
But yes. I see exactly what you're saying. But this is the thing, even with the stat that he has a family back home, what is it? 30% of DNA tests have proven that the guy's not the father.
Aye.
So I'm going to say 30% of all of the people who go to take tests, he's not the father. So if daddy's got a whole nother family at home, across town, that son that's his family might not share his blood. That chance is not zero with you.
So, again, like you said, kind of circular logic. Like, he got a family across town, and you got a family with another man.
Yes. He just don't know.
From across town.
He just had the built, like,
so just because Gary got a family across town, Larry came in and had a family with you.
It's crazy that that boy looked like that dude who sells car insurance door to door. That's not. Okay, your man 5'2", why is that kid 6'4"? Why is he built like a tank? That boy over there built like the strongest piece of asparagus money can buy. That boy's built like a hole. But so there's that. But we've gone in this liberation movement, and I just believe we've gone a bit too far in it. Women were held back for the longest, and so they went to go. Well, I will say women were held back because initially we allowed men to do everything, right? Mm-hmm. So the proverb, think of it like this. The Proverbs 31 woman was not allowed in the U.S. until women's suffrage was, 1920 something?
Yeah, it was 1929 keeps popping up.
Women's move, bro. Okay. Suffrage. Okay, 1920, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Imagine that. Look at me, little history boy.
Hey.
And so
I don't know why I was saying 1929, but 1920.
Okay, so you think about it like this: women weren't allowed to be Proverbs 31 women until post 1921. So it's like the perfect woman is capable of doing all of these things, right? Again, the Bible's fantastic, right? The Bible understood what a woman could do if allowed to do, but because of men and wanting to retain power, we did not allow women. But then all of a sudden we start allowing women. And so women now are excited and trying to gain more rights and fight more rights. And so now I think women screwed up. You fought for your right to work 40 hours a week and break your back. Why you would do that, I don't get it, but whatever. Before then, that's one of the weirdest things I say. Women, the few dumb women who wanted to be strong fooled the rest of you. Because at one point of time, a woman who was capable of doing all of this work, found a man, coerced him to go outside and break his back for 40 to 60 hours a week and give you all of the money and tell you to pay the bills. I want you to know right now, that was a deal. Okay?
That's an absolute deal.
You woman empowered yourself into being the person who was breaking their back. Why you did that? That was a hell of a setup. Why you did that to have your own money or whatever foolishness they told you, all time dumb, all right? You ladies got to take an L for, now you arguing with a man in a traditional, now you trying to get it back. And the men like, oh no, you want a treadmill? Now you got to go to work, baby. I get it. Like, that was all-time dumb. Like, worst bargaining for you women ever.
Oh, man.
Shout out to the women, because you start thinking about the 1920s, right? I think about the women in the late 30s to early 40s, right? When the women had to work in a lot of these factory jobs because the men went off to fight war. Obviously, we've got the Great War being World War I in that 1920s time, right? The Great War is 1913-esque in there. So then y'all show up and pretty much run the country for a large portion of it during World War II, while the greatest generation of men were out for killing and dying and stuff. So big shots out then. But y'all, I guess working was cool for the few years. Y'all said, let's keep this going. I'm sure it wasn't I'm sure it was a small group of women, and they said things to make you feel powerful, and y'all just kept running with it.
Yeah.
Into now, you women, every woman got a job and a side hustle and all of that. That's not because men weren't working enough. That was because you ladies were idiots and argued. And I'm not saying all women are idiots, because I know a good group of women who don't believe in it. But I guess I'm talking to the grandmothers. My grandma was in Africa. She was being a real estate lady and working with her husband. So she stayed in the house and cooked for her. She did not partake in that foolishness that you guys had going on in America. But your grandmamas let the 3 or 4 women run their mouth to have y'all out here sweating and like whatever. That was dumb. That was dumb.
Correct. Like, look, I mean, again, that's one of those things. Like, I get it. Yeah. I will say this to the end. I do believe that women are way more capable than just cleaning a house and having children.
Yes, you're more than cook, cleaning, and sewing. But when we look at the Bible, Proverbs 31 woman,
she was don't get me started. Why do you keep referencing her? Right?
Leave her out of this. These Jezebels.
It's not even close, bro. Not even close, bro.
So we always knew women were more. If you've been reading your Bible, we always knew women were more capable. For women, that was the whole shtick, is to make them think you're just a dumb woman. But you wanted to show them how smart you are. You smarted yourself right into making
right into 80 hours a week.
Right into. I don't know why y'all keep tricking us. Men were bamboozled, and they were looking for the ones who could make the best sandwich. If you told me I could make a sandwich and I could get your money, I want you to know right now, the sandwiches would be exquisite. But whatever. That's not the conversation. If you ask me, what's the woman's biggest blunder? It was that one right there. That's your biggest blunder. Y'all had it.
Yeah. Look. I don't know if you ever seen that one clip where I think it was the Joe Budden podcast. Mm-hmm. And
I know exactly what clip you about to say.
It was a comedian, and he was like, it's crazy.
We're here in paradise. God's given us everything. We can eat whatever. We can do whatever we want. What more can we ask for? Or like, it's so great. Like, what more is there? And she goes, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And this is still a joke. And then the woman in real life, the real life woman, all of the men are crackling up. They see the joke. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like,
she goes,
it's still not enough.
It's still not enough. What? I thought there was more to the joke. Where was it? The man go that. Oh my God. Everyone's like, that's the joke.
It happened to us.
Right in real time. They saw it happen. She's like, there's supposed to be more. We're just like, no. Like, that's kind of the whole purpose of the joke.
Oh my gosh, bro.
So, but yes. So, I don't even remember the question.
Well,
but yes. The circular logic was, we made women strong by taking care of the kids, then incentivized them to not have the father in the home. And then the guy said, well, I'm not going to fight to be in the home if you're not going to make me in the home. And so then he wants to be absent because you're fighting him to be absent. And then you get praised for it, so you're going to fight him more. So I think that whole thing created a circle. We empowered women to be single moms, and then that just took off to dudes not wanting to be parents. Because I've had a homeboy in a situation. I remember talking to him, and he was almost ready to like give up on seeing his kid. And partial reason why is that the woman didn't allow him to sign the birth certificate. So then he also felt like, is this even my kid? And then there became this rigmarole, this whole thing. So he was just like, do I risk everything I've worked for a kid that she doesn't want me to sign a birth certificate and all this other stuff? Luckily, they figured it out, and they got through it. But
Jesus,
yeah,
bro, that pains me right there, bro.
Brother, it's hard. it's hard when you want to be a father and someone's telling you you can't. I'm telling you, bro. That's some of the worst stuff there. But, whatevs.
But I'm blessed. I'm blessed, bro. Yes. Like I think about it, bro. I'm blessed, bro.
That's it.
Golly.
Look. I was a Destiny, from what I could see, solid lady. Good girl. Good job. Hats off to you. Bro. Took her off the market. Hey, I don't care what they say about this one. She's mine. I don't know. The rest of y'all are acting kind of funny. I know this one's good right here. Look,
100%.
She's got enough for me. That's what my boy said. She's got enough for me. I'm gonna take this one. I call this one. And listen, I look at you, I go, man, he made it right. He did. I made some good decisions, but he made a great one. That one made a decision. 10 out of 10.
Oh,
10 out of 10. I don't know all y'all business, but for me looking at it, I go, he won that trade.
Yeah.
he won that trade. Definitely won that trade,
bro.
So,
bro, I look. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Dear God, I never hope. I pray, dear God, that I will never have to be back out here on the bus net.
On these streets.
Bro.
It's weird out here,
bro. It's strange, bro. I'm not even in the daggone field, bro. I'm just up in the daggone deer stand just watching all this crap. Just like,
yeah.
Yo, y'all crazy out here, bro.
That's it. And if you engage in the foolishness, you'll engage in the foolishness.
Back to this. Good Lord. Last question. What impact does the strong mother, there's quotations here, strong mother narrative have on children's perceptions of masculinity and fatherhood?
Now this is the one. Because you women suck. I didn't mean to say it off.
Hey, I'll say it for you. Because you women suck at communicating that the father is necessary. Usually what happens is a lot of bickering. It's a lot of, well, your daddy ain't this, and your daddy won't do this, and your daddy won't do that. Instead of, you should be saying, hey, you know what? Whatever happened between me and your father happened between me and your father. That's your father. Okay? I'm your mother, that's your father. You need to respect him, and so on and so forth. And keeping that moral standard, moral code, and respect for the father as well. And pushing for your child to see the father. Now, I will say this. If that father doesn't want to be there, don't make him be there.
Chunky.
Don't make the child be there either. Don't force. I know I'm sounding new age right here. Don't force energy somewhere it doesn't want to be.
Yeah. Don't
do it. Because that's just dumb. But if the man is truly trying to be there, if again, a good father may be a horrible boyfriend or a horrible husband.
Yes.
That is definitely possible.
Yes.
Okay? But at the same time...
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I had a woman try to argue at me or debate me with me that say if he's a bad boyfriend, he's a bad daddy.
No, there's no. Those are two completely different roles.
It'd be hard to not call them mean names. Because when you say stupid stuff like this, it burns my grits. I don't like my grits.
No.
But finish what you were saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, the only thing I was gonna finish up on is I think that, I mean, clearly, usually what happens is there's immature people having children, and so you think you're ready for a child, you're not. I was 36. Yeah, I'm about to be 39 in a week.
Let's go.
But most people are very immature. I thought I wanted children back when I was 27, and I know right now, oh my God, I wasn't ready.
Touché.
I wasn't ready at all.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready when I had them at 36. But I was more ready at 36 than I was at 27.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I'll be 120% honest with you, I don't know if we would have made it with us, me and my wife. I don't know if we would have made it with us having a child at that time.
Fair assessment.
Both of us being as immature as we were. I don't know if we would have made it. Just, off the strength of everything, like being real.
Yeah.
Just because, it's just some things that, like, now I understand, now I move differently now,
Yeah.
And I got more patience now, definitely now than I did back then. Because, hopefully you get wiser as you age. Some people don't. Some people don't. Some people don't.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's that's one of the things. Is like a lot of people are immature about this whole thing, and I'm not gonna say it's all women. I'm not gonna say it's all men.
But yeah, there's people who are chronically immature. There's one thing when my mother was alive, I will always say, is that all I knew about my father is that he was cheap. I knew he was a nice guy and he was cheap. Oh, and a liar. Yeah, let's not forget the liar part. Mm-hmm. Liar, cheap, nice guy. That is the only thing. And she'd be like, "Nah, you should talk to your dad. Just because me and your dad, whatever happened to my dad, or what happened with your dad, that's our business. Go." She encouraged me to have a conversation with him all of the time. She continually stayed friends with my father. I believe my father cheated on my mom. There you go again. She never let it really be my business.
Exactly.
So I don't really know why they broke up. All I know is that my dad lied a lot, and I've seen him lie as an adult. He lied a lot. He was cheap, and I think he had a whole bunch of women, or had I grew up, and this might be one of the reasons why I don't play around with cheating, is that my mom told me that my dad liked women a whole bunch, and women were the reason why he lost a lot of, because growing up, I knew my father had houses in Detroit and Trenton. I knew he was in between both places because he had properties, and he could fix properties and stuff. I knew that about him growing up. Mom said him and that boy's love of women is the reason why that happened. My mom's the one that's not going to play the cheating game with you. So if you told me to guess why they broke up, if the cheating game was happening, and she did, but she even stayed friends with Buddy.
But I think that's what you just said is very important, because she laid out some stuff for you. Like, I'm going to give you a little bit about, and then I'm going to let you figure out the rest. I'm going to give you a little bit to protect you because he lies a lot.
Yes.
So he's going to tell you lies. Like, that's what he's going to do.
Yes. Okay,
so when he speaks, don't believe any of it.
Yes.
Just take it, and
whatever happens, happens.
Whatever happens, happens. Yes.
And so
that like, to me, that was super important.
Yes.
Always protect your children.
Yes.
At all costs. Like, always protect your children.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You're let's just say your dad's a drug addict. Okay. Like, your dad likes to smoke crack. Okay. Let your children know that. Like, he's a decent dude.
Yes.
But he likes to smoke crack.
So make sugar that problem.
Look. So make sure you lock up your valuables, okay? Lock your valuables up, okay?
Yeah, that PlayStation might end up the street.
It might end up the street.
But she was even friends with the dude for the longest. And I believe she stayed friends with him partially to get him to talk to me. And I found out later that he was just intimidated or scared by me. Because I've had a no-nonsense attitude, my whole life. Yeah. I've done, like, you know what I'm saying? I've got my 12th birthday was a very, very important day to me. Whatever reason, my brother made my 12th birthday seem important. I talked to my dad on my 12th birthday. He said, how old are you turning? 12 was an important number to me. He said 9. I said, oh, this boy don't know nothing about me. Take it home. She was like, what? Hey, that boy asked me if I'm turning 9. I'm done with this conversation. And I went on my business. It was literally that quick. I said, I'm turning. He said, well, how old are you? And I didn't even ask him. I was going to happily tell him, oh, I'm like turning 12. Whenever adolescent, I don't know if that was a cool word to my brother, that you're becoming an adolescent.
Yeah.
But 12 is an important number. That boy said I'm turning 9. I said, he don't know nothing about me. 12 is a huge number, clearly. Whoop, I'm out of here. I'll take the phone. What happened? That boy said I'm turning 9. I'm not talking to the guy. He thinks I'm a child. I'm an adolescent. I'm gone. And I left. But
I get it.
But
12 is important though.
Yeah.
It's right before 13.
Touche.
Like it's like
right there.
I'm almost grown. Like
yes,
I'm right there.
But she stayed friends with the dude. He was cool. He came to my mom's funeral. I didn't take it. When he came to my mom's funeral, I didn't take it as he was even supporting me. He was there to go see his homegirl. They was like, she would, hey, I talked to your dad again. Has your dad called you? No, okay. She got mad at me for not calling my dad. I was like, I don't know that boy. She was like, Dan, you need to forgive him. I was like, I don't harbor any bad feelings. I just don't know him like that, and I don't think it's my job to have a relationship with him. And so she didn't like that answer, and I gave it to her the last 5 years of her life. But she continuously tried to get both of us to communicate. He would call me every so often. He'll call me now every 6 months. Last time I talked to him, I don't know, I think he's called me one time since the Liberian election. He called me to talk politics of Africa. I said, bro, I'm baking cheesecakes. I like this guy. You like that guy, okay. And then he started talking junk about my sister because they supported opposite candidates. I'm not getting into an African political debate with nobody. Okay, I'm out on that. but like, so you want some cheesecake, boss? I'm not about to argue if Joseph Boycott or George Weah is the guy. I don't care that much. But yeah. So like, as a strong woman, you need to still instill that. Make sure your kid knows that they need men in their life. My mom was brilliant at like never bad mouthing any man. She was even cool with the dude that used to beat on me. Weird. She married a dude who used to eat a lot. He used to hit her. He used to beat me. But my mom one day he came in drunk one night. My mom gave him those. Pause. She gave him, gave that boy work. He came in drunk and wanted to beat on me one day. I remember sitting by my mom's shoes. You're not gonna do this again, man. You five. Buddy stumbling. Dropped him by the shoes. I said, oh, shorty got hands. I was out of the room. I ain't never seen adults really put paws upon man. Send him on the road. That was crazy. That was a fight, bro. He pushed her. He was stronger than her, but she got him off that bed, rolled up. Wow. Whoa. That was crazy. My mom had this big old hunch, and I remember sitting. I'll never forget it, bro. She had the big old joint. Had shoes all down. I'm sitting in the shoes. I'm like, oh, wow. Drop buddy beside me. I'm like, oh, I got to go. This is crazy. I remember boy, decent boy. Oh, she beat the brakes off Buddy.
Oh, that's great, bro.
Oh, she put balls.
Oh, that's a great story, bro.
Oh man, that was crazy.
That's a great story, sir.
And this is the thing about it, bro. The dude, I feel like the dude really liked me. It's the weird, and maybe this is the kind of stuff folks be saying they need to go to therapy for. Dude was a big dude, was like Emmanuel, probably like 6'4", 6'5". And I was a shorter kid. He used to hold me up on my ankle and just fire, wow, and just drop me, just beat the brakes off me and drop me. That's not good, but he did it. But when he was, and I don't know if he was drunk or not, because I didn't know what drunk was. Older me now was seeing when he got whooped, he was drunk. But younger me had no clue. But even after that, he always wanted to know how I was doing. For years past my mom and his breakup, if he saw me out, he would go, "That's my son." And I'd be like, "Boy, you're not my daddy," in my head. But my cousins used to be like, "Hey, yo, shut up," because he would give me money. When he was bragging on me, he would then give me money. So I remember going to Charlotte one time. Charles and Christopher, my cousins, twins, wild boys, always trying to get something out of somebody, right? I remember like those are some. I wish, matter of fact, I got to go find. I ain't talked to them in a little minute. Charles and Christopher. They're like, "Look, man, your daddy here." I said, "Man, my daddy don't stay here." They said, "Man, Emmanuel is here, bro. You know he want to see you. You know he want to give you $20. Every time we show up to these African parties, you're gonna go see him. You're gonna go give him a hug. You're gonna get his $20 so we can go to the store." That used to be the thing. They got to a point. I'm like, "Dad, Daddy! Oh, y'all see my son? He see." I remember one time I said it to him, and he see. I told y'all. Look, that's my son. He said it. Y'all heard him say it. "Hey, son, what you need? What you need, son? What you need, son? Son, what you need?" Boy gave me a 20. Well, I went out there. It's like, "You got the money?" I said, "Yeah." That's your daddy, boy. Let's go. Look, bro. I believe he had a heart attack a while ago. If he was still alive, I had that conversation like, "Why'd you beat the hell out of me like that?" And then go on to brag about me. And when I mean every single time, it's the one reason I'm like, I don't understand it. It's almost like I legitimately believe he loved me. He beat the brakes off of me for no apparent reason, but I believe Buddy really liked me. It doesn't make sense to me today, but I don't think he was trying to repay his bad deeds, because even if he saw me with not around people, he never apologized for anything. Or maybe he did, I don't know. But the dude would tell me he loved me, hugged me, and like when him and my mom broke up, he would find me to speak to me. "Where am I going to jail? Where am I going to jail? Where am I going to jail?" But that fight scene, that was one of the greatest fight scenes I've ever seen in my life. When I don't mean like vaguely like, why? I'm over here in the corner because he just got done beating me. That was the last time that boy touched me. My mom was upset. I remember he dropped me. My mom had a bed. I barely missed the bed. If that was the bed, I fell right here. Boom. You're not gonna keep beating on my son. I think he might have said something. Clearly, my mom was standing on business that day. So he beat me. I scurried over and just stood over the shoes in the hutch because I knew I couldn't get away from him. If he wanted to beat me, that was that. And I had never seen my mom really be physical like that before. He said something. I remember him pushing my mom on the bed. I remember my mom getting up from that bed. When she got up on them 2 feet, Emmanuel, God with us. God with us. God with us. It was crazy. She was fired up on that boy. I remember when Buddy dropped right there beside me. I'm like, oh no. What is she gonna get me next? Because I don't want those problems. Are you okay, Uncle Jay? Yes. Are you okay? How we gonna get him? Get your stuff. You got to go. And I guess after you get beat up like that, when a person says you got to go. I don't have memories in my home after that whooping. They're all in someone else's house. Memories hard stop there. Okay? Oh, that was crazy.
Look,
You should fire it off.
you better not say nothing. You got to go.
You got to go. Memory stop.
You better get up, get the stuff, and roll out, bro.
Yeah.
Before you catch these hands
One more time. Yeah, one more game. They were furious. All right. I remember just being scared and just watching it all. I thought she was a daughter when she got pushed on that bed. However, she got up. That was his fatal flaw when you, hey, Emmanuel, you were supposed to hold her there. You did not. You were in trouble. He was a big dude. My mom was 5. My mom is 5'3". My mom was 5'4". Buddy had to be at least 6. That dude was huge. I would go
crazy, bro.
Well, she beat the wheels off that boy.
That's crazy, bro.
So there you go. That's a little bit of my life. That was crazy.
Yo, man. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that, bro.
That was crazy.
Golly, bro.
Man. I would have went to Emmanuel's funeral, even though he beat the brakes on him. I would have went to his funeral.
That's crazy.
That dude was crazy.
Yeah.
Can I say, this is crazy. I think he like, believe it or not, he showed me more emotion than my own father. He might have liked me more than my daddy did. I don't know what else to say, bro. I mean, the boy rolled for me when he used to eat a whole bunch. It was funny. He would tell me someone was at the door and then just eat my food when I walked. I'm like, where my food go?
Look, he had to. I think he got bullied. He got bullied
when he was younger.
And so then
he picked me to bully.
He was like, "Yeah, I'm a bully."
I guess he did. I wonder, like he did do with my older brother, but my older brother's daddy, we have different fathers. His dad was crazy, so he might have known Joseph would shoot you.
Yeah.
So maybe that little boy daddy ain't in his life. Joseph is crazy. He'll come and get me.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all I can tell you is about what happened for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, women, even if you're single, your objective is to get your. You don't. I don't want to. I just thought about a Martha story.
Oh God.
Martha, she. I remember talking to her. I guess I didn't need to say her name. That's whatever. But I remember we were talking about her son and how to make her son more of a man. And she thought it was crazy to think that a girl he's talking to would dare spend money on him or like take him out. It's like, wait, what? So he's got to pay for everything. And this is one of those like women logic doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And me and her were cool. You know, we were cool at the time and talking all the time, so we could have these conversations. But also telling people how to parent their kid is like everyone's big no-no, right?
Yeah.
Wanted him to be a man. Oh yeah, this is where I go. This is why you women need a man in your life, because this logic is absolutely dumb. He didn't have a car. Girl he was talking to had a car. Didn't want the girl buying the boy stuff, but wouldn't let the boy get a job. She said the coach said he wasn't allowed to have a job. I remember I talked to you about that. She said his coach said he's not allowed to have a job. His coach doesn't run his life.
Major fact.
While he's on the field, his coach is numero uno. Once he leaves the field, coach is just a human.
Major fact.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Is a wrestling coach. I don't care what. Look, I held a job playing 3 sports for the varsity. It's possible.
Yes.
But like I want his grades and stuff or whatever. Okay, so then when is he gonna be this man that you want him to be?
You can limit him to, weekends.
Yeah, something like so. But so he can't work, so he doesn't go out, Because my boy don't want to go. He wants to go. He just don't got no money. He don't want to be asking people for money.
Major fact.
But you won't allow him to make money. So I was like, so how's he learning independence at all?
You can't.
How's he gonna? So when he goes to college, then he's supposed to all of a sudden just get a job and just start taking care of a woman, and he's never done it before. That's not gonna work.
Never.
How are we gonna figure this out? And I remember her going through it. Well, and because she is a woman, she wants to be right. I just like, okay, even though that makes zero sense, but whatever. Anyways, that's that.
Crazy. That's probably another podcast topic.
This
Why does women have to be right? Like they have to. Like it's a fundamental need for them to be correct. Bro.
Yes. And it's weird because if you argue, like if you try to argue, not necessarily argue, combat them being right, they say, well, you just want to be right. It's like, no. I'm trying to physically enlighten you, not to be correct in a conversation.
Yeah.
And those are completely different things.
Yeah.
It's like I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I just want the best. The best knowledge.
The best knowledge, the best option
to make the most informed decision.
Yes.
But now whatever.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
It's a whole other can of worms.
All right, so all in all, fathers,
yep,
don't be dicks. Okay. Throw it all to make sure you're in your child's life. Throw all of it.
Every bit of it.
Every last bit
I
of it.
want you to go homeless to ensure that it happens.
Yes. Ladies, let's be more mature about this whole thing. Yeah. You know, understand that the system is actually set up to aid you more so than it is to aid the man.
Yeah.
With that being known, also don't badmouth the man that you decide to have a child with.
That's another thing.
Like you decide that.
Vast majority of you ladies willingly slept with this man, and then went through the entire pregnancy to have his baby. It wasn't a surprise baby. It didn't just show up on a Tuesday night. Well, I mean, some of them showed up on a Tuesday night, but it didn't surprise you.
No.
We all knew it was coming. It made it surprise you for one little second, but when your belly was this big, when you was doing this thing,
yep,
we all knew. So, if you picked the bozo, you picked the bozo. I don't know why I knew that was gonna be funny, or why it's so funny. But if you picked a bozo, you picked a bozo. Okay, that should not have been that funny. It was not supposed to be that funny. I understand it, don't understand why it was so funny.
Bro, the only thing I can see, bro, is there's a dude with some dang rainbow colored hair and a red nose, and the girl's just like, yeah, come on.
I would love to have your baby.
Come on.
I would be honored. Yeah. Pick the bozo, you pick the bozo.
That's the only thing I can see, bro. That's crazy. Yo, that's crazy, bro. Yo, I think that's it. Oh, God.
That's it.
That's it.
All right, we're out. That'd be good, man.